guys, it's time for our writing portion of our lessons today. So we have done an opinion writing and now we're going to work on informational writing. So if you'll look in your packet of work, you have something that's called informational writing. It's a little checklist and it says, think of a topic you know a lot about. Well, today, this is our first time doing a lot of big informational writing. I decided that we would just write about how to dye Easter eggs, since that's part of our story that we've been working on. And the Easter Bunny gave us such great directions. I thought that would be an easy how-to informational story we could write today. So think of a topic you know about. We're going to talk about dyeing eggs. Write and draw true facts about your topic. Put the facts together on the same page. Add color and detail to your drawings to help teach the reader. Reread your writing to fix it. So that's editing. We'll do that on Wednesday. And then you'll share your writing. So on Thursday we'll publish. So we're going to write today and tomorrow. We'll edit on Wednesday and we'll publish on Thursday. Same format we've been using throughout the weeks, except for we don't have Friday to publish. We're going to publish it on Thursday. So normally Thursday's our editing day, Friday's our publishing day, but we're going to back it up just a day. So we're going to shorten our writing time. So I'm actually going to give you the points you're going to write about in your story. So do you remember the other day I showed you how to fold the paper in half and to make a book? We're going to use that format to publish it. So if you want to think about that, you can. So our title for our informational writing is How to Dye Eggs. So I'm going to, at the top of my book, in your book, in your little journals that we have that I gave you, find your fresh new page, and then we're going to write, at the top, you're going to write, how to dye eggs. That's our theme. That's going to be the title of our book. How to dye eggs. All right, and there's going to be 4 steps. 4 steps. How to dye eggs. Because we don't have a skunk helping us dye eggs, do we? No, we don't have a skunk helping us dye eggs. So we don't have to have that step in our story. So our first step, so the first thing you would write, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to make myself some lines on my paper so it'll be easier for me to write on my paper. And what I'm doing is I'm skipping 2 lines between each line because I'm going to do my illustrations later in the week. But I'm skipping 2 lines between each line. The first 2 are a little bit off, but 2 lines between each line. So the first step, step 1. So that's how I would write it. Step 1. Step 1. So there's the first step. And the first step is hard boil the eggs. So I would do hard, S-H-R, A-R, hard, boil, B-B-O-I, oil, the eggs. Hard boil the eggs. So step 1, hard boil the eggs. That's our first step. So that would be page 1 of our book when we make our book. But for today, we're just writing it out. So you would say hard boil the eggs. Now, I know that I'm not standing there beside you and I'm not looking over your shoulder, but I want you to work really hard to make your letters neat. Try not to take up the entire paper. Please use the lines, like when I was showing you how to use lines, because we're transitioning from the beginning of kindergarten where we did use the whole paper and it didn't matter where you wrote, and we're going towards first grade. So first grade expects you to write on the lines and they expect you to write very neatly, and legibly is the word they use. Legibly means I can read it, you could read it, anybody could read it. So practice that even in your practice work, even on your paper. Practice that hard work of making sure your lines are straight, making sure you have tall letters and short letters. Are you writing on the line? Do your tails hang down? To really, really practice, because what you practice is what you do. What you practice is what you do. It's very important. So step 1, hard boil the eggs. Now we're going to make a space, and I'm going to say step 2. Step 2, make dye for the eggs. So make, that's one of our words we should know. M-A-K-E, make, dye, D-Y-E, dye for the eggs. All right, so I told you there's 4 steps, right? So we have step 1 and step 2. And I'm writing it in my book to show you. Now, step 2 is a little bit longer, so I had to go down to the next line in order to finish my book. That is fine. You can do that. No worries, right? As long as it's neat, as long as it's legible, it's a new word for you guys today, legible, then you'll be fine. Legible means anybody could read it. It looks really nice. So, make dye for the egg. Step 1, step 2. Now, like I said, we only have 4 steps because one of the steps that the Easter Bunny had was to move the skunk out of the room. We don't have that. So we'll add those 2 steps tomorrow, but I want to show you, since you're copying what I'm doing and you have your book, I'm using 2 sheets of plain white paper, and I took them and I folded them over to make a book. So with my pencil box, we're going to start our cover. So I'm going to get my pencil box out. I'm going to use my black crayon. Now, the only reason I'm using this really nice black crayon to write the words on the front cover is because front covers usually are very, very colorful. So I'm going to write my title, How to Dye Eggs. So I'm going to write one word at a time. How to dye, and I'm going to look right up here where I've been copying it, eggs. And then I'm going to leave a space, and then at the bottom I'm going to write by. Now I'm going to write my name, which is Mrs. T. So that's what your title page should look like. How to dye eggs, and then you have by Mrs. T. I left a little space because this is the tricky part. Yes, I wrote with a black crayon. I know I'm not supposed to write with crayon. I'm supposed to write with my pencil. But I'm going to draw my picture with my pencil because I want my picture to look really good. So I'm going to draw an Easter bunny face. So I'm going to draw an Easter bunny face. And I'm going to take my time. So while you're catching up with the drawing, I'm going to take my time and draw my Easter bunny face. All right, so there's my illustration. Now, I'm going to go, now that I've got him drawn, I could go back with my black crayon and I could trace over my lines so that he looks really nice and crisp. I'm going to let my Easter Bunny be white like the Easter Bunny in our book, but the Easter Bunny could be brown, he could be gray, he could be any color you choose. All right, I'm going to give my Easter Bunny blue eyes because I just like blue eyes. I think that would be cool. You could give him whatever color eyes you want to give him. I'm going to give him a pink nose. I'm going to give him the pink insides of the ears. And a pink tummy. Remember, I was leaving him white, so he's going to be white for the most part. And I'm just tracing him with my black crayon. So I'm drawing over my pencil lines. And I'll show it to you in just a moment. Just because it makes it look nicer. But I drew first with my pencil. That's right, with my pencil. Always draw your pictures with your pencil. So right there. And then I drew a little Easter basket beside him with colorful Easter eggs. So that's going to be my title page. So this is just kind of to show you how this kind of works. That's our front cover. Now, on the inside, this is where on Wednesday we'll do our actual pages. So this is going to be in your journal. We're going to stop right there. So I've made my front cover. I've got my first 2 steps. Tomorrow we'll add 2 more steps to our book. Up here on the board we'll add the 2 more steps. So I want you to take your time, do your best effort, and just give me the best Easter Bunny you can draw me on that front cover. Don't fill in the pages yet. We'll fill those in on Wednesday so that we've double checked ourselves in our writing, okay? So I gotta see you guys in a few minutes for math. Love you.